Fiona, sparking together. The Spark and the Giants. It was only a tiny spark floating in the dark void. It had always been that way. One day, someone opened a door. At that moment, the spark couldn't hear it, but that someone whispered to it, "You are free." It started moving, reaching towards the light, because it was just that, light. The spark did not have the capacity to see details. It floated and drifted until it bumped into something. It was the belly of a giant that had been sad and bored for years. Because the spark could not see, it bumped against the giant's belly over and over, trying to get through. But so much bumping was tickling the giant. He started laughing and could not stop. His bellows of laughter cracked like thunder. Ha 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 ha! The giant laughed for a long time until he realized who had tickled him like that. It was a tiny blind spark that kept bumping insistently against his belly. He picked it up delicately, saying, "Poor thing, it cannot see. Because it had made me laugh after such a long, dreary time, I will bestow upon it the gift of seeing." The spark opened its eyes and gazed in wonder at the incredible view. A new world of shapes and colors lay before it. Being able to see, it went on its way until it came upon another sad giant. It went closer, stopping at eye level. The giant started telling the spark how sad he was after being alone for so many years. And although the spark could not hear the words, it could understand the sadness and stayed with the giant while he told his story. After unburdening his misery, the giant felt a lot better and asked the spark to tell him its story in turn. Only then did the giant realize that the spark was deaf, and grateful for its company and understanding, bestowed on it the gift of hearing. Now that it could hear, the spark went on its way, discovering the song of birds, the bubbling of creeks, and the melody of nature. It then heard a merry tune in the distance. It went toward the sound and discovered another giant, working happily in his garden and singing. "Well, finally a giant that is not sad," thought the spark. It realized that the giant did not have time to be sad because he had something to keep him occupied. But it liked the tune, so it got close to the giant and started dancing to the rhythm of the happy song while the giant hoed his garden. It danced and danced, keeping the giant company until he finished his task. The giant smiled at the spark and thanked it for making his hard work more entertaining. He asked it its name and discovered the spark was dumb. So he gave it the gift of speech. The spark went on its way trying out its new voice. It learned to sing and to whistle, imitating all the sounds it heard, describing all the scenery it found, and talking to all the animals that it was discovering. When it came upon a clearing, it found another giant weeping desperately. "Poor thing," the spark thought, and asked him why he was so sad. The giant told her that he had been alone all his life. He was so ugly, he had never had a friend. The spark told him friendship was above things like that, and that it had learnt from other giants that to not be sad, the best things were laughing, having a positive attitude, and keeping busy. The spark offered its friendship to the giant and taught him how to sing, how to laugh, and how to be entertained by working. Then they went off together to find the other 3 giants. The 4 giants immediately became inseparable friends, forgetting all the sadness they had known before. When they realized what a tiny spark had done for them all, the 4 giants came up with an idea and put all their might to give it something else. A body. The body of a giant. Now the spark felt complete. It was now a powerful giant. Its journey had brought it wisdom, experience, and friendship. From then on, it spent its time traveling through the wide world and learning and helping others. Until one day it returned to the place where it had come from a long, long time ago, when it was only a tiny spark. It opened the door. It saw another tiny spark floating in the void, and with a wistful smile, whispered to it, "You are free.